goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom here in this hemisphere, and we hope around the world.
I have a dream.
Well, that's where we start when I go into politics.
Continue to be held as hostages in an attempt to force unacceptable demands on our country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Is increasing inequality and deep divisions among our own people.
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
Congress has failed to pass federal hate crimes legislation that protects LGBT Americans from senseless violence.
So let us summon a new spirit of patriotism, of responsibility, where each of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each other.
Broadcasting live from the Msc Radio Network in the city built on steel, rock and roll, and its fictitious home of Betty White. This is Joust It Out, and I'm your host, G. Today is Wednesday, November 28th, and this is the World AIDS Day Show. Tonight, Judith Pindell will be co-hosting with celebrity co-host Stevie Reese-Desmond, and our guests tonight are Jamie Moore and Carly Mesnick, giving you all the details of World AIDS Day 2012. Take it away, folks.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see, we have Jamie Moore and Carly Mesnick in the studio. I am so excited. This is Judith Pindell. You'll also notice that Stevie Reese-Desmond isn't here, and I'm so sad. She was feeling under the weather and had to cancel at the last minute. But we need to have her in tip-top shape for Friday night.
Yes.
So we're going to make sure she stays home and takes care of herself because we've got a big, big weekend coming up. Jamie, Carly, thank you so much for being here. Look, we're all in our red.
Yes.
In honor of World AIDS Week.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good. I had like two Thanksgivings, one with my best friend, and then the next one was with family. So it was great. It was relaxing. I was off work for like 5 days.
Nice.
Awesome.
Totally cool.
Mine was really good. I actually reconnected. My mother and I don't have the best relationship, and I actually reconnected with my mother, spoke with her privately for 3 hours, and left feeling the best I've ever felt talking to my mother. So it was an excellent holiday for me.
It was a Thanksgiving miracle.
It was a Thanksgiving miracle.
Great.
It was awesome.
So heartwarming.
Yeah, it was nice.
Aw. Yeah, I had a pretty good Thanksgiving. That's all I'll say about that. I gave poor Carly the whole lowdown.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to go into that. But yeah, so this is going to be our World AIDS Day, World AIDS Week episode. So it's going to be World AIDS Day, AIDS, this whole show.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
We're bleeding.
Yeah.
Right. But I do want to start off with, I know for folks who normally listen to this show, you're used to the first half hour where we talk a lot of politics and that kind of stuff, and then the last half we're doing more fun stuff or, you know, more event type of stuff. So we do have to throw in our politics. But it is related, so bear with me. I know that we've heard a lot. You can't watch the news without hearing about this fiscal cliff and sequestration, all these big, scary words. And, you know, we know it's coming up, but I mean, I don't know. I'm no economist. I don't really know all of the ins and outs. I just know that it's going to be some massive billions and billions of tax increases, billions of spending cuts.
Yes.
You know, they're calling it a fiscal cliff, which sounds really super scary, but, you know, then they try to explain it's not really a cliff, it's a slope. I don't know who to believe. You know, we can't get people in Congress to, you know, compromise on anything or come to any kind of a, come together.
Well, that was the biggest part of, you know, the election. Everybody was like, I want somebody who can get things done by working with other people who they may not want to work with. But for the betterment of everyone.
Right. Yeah. Like, let's get it together, people.
Right. But we have to do that all the time in the community,
in the activist community.
Absolutely.
For sure. Everybody's got their own ideas.
You have there's people with their own ideas. There's people with very strong personalities, and you have to work with people that you might not particularly or personally care for.
Right.
But the whole goal in mind is for the community. And the only big message for me for Congress is this isn't about you. It's not about your career.
Right.
It's not about the party that you belong to. It's about what's going to make everything better for the American people.
And especially the average person and, and the individuals who, the working poor, who it's going to mostly impact the most. Exactly. So pretty much all of us right here.
Right, exactly.
People who can't get health insurance.
Right.
Working 3 jobs, different jobs. And,
and some of the really scary cuts that are going to happen because we know the sequestration is pretty much cuts across the board. All discretionary funding, virtually all discretionary funding, which is really scary, especially when we're talking about our friends and family who rely on these HIV and AIDS programs. So we're talking about HOPWA, the housing opportunities for people with AIDS.
Right.
We're talking about all the Ryan White care programs. That's where how folks are able to get health care services. AIDS drug assistance programs, all of that is on the chopping block along with everything else. It's really scary. So I bring this up because there were a group of folks yesterday. Maybe you heard about it. It's been all over the news.
Oh, it's going viral.
And it is viral, which is amazing. I was lucky enough to hear about it ahead of time and was able to watch the live stream, watch it happen in real time, like I was in the room in Boehner's office at Capitol Hill.
I don't understand how they're actually that close to the offices.
So here's the thing. So it's these groups. I'm going to read them off just so that we can give a shout out. Health Gap. ACT UP of Philly and New York, Bureaucracy, the HIV Prevention Justice Alliance, and a few other folks. So there were 7 people out of that whole group, and I want to say there were probably at least 100 people there watching live. Anybody can get a meeting with their legislator. We talk about this all the time.
Right.
It's pretty easy. You call up, you say, I would like to meet with my representative. We do it all the time.
Right.
Oftentimes you speak to a legislative aide or whatever, but if you really want to, you can talk to your legislator. So they came in, walked in the office, that's our office, that's our Congress.
Right.
And so they went in there, they demanded a meeting with Boehner and decided that they would strip.
Yes.
Well, they want to get as much attention,
Right.
Remember
absolutely.
us.
Yeah. So what were they saying? That they wanted to expose the truth about AIDS budget cuts. Now, I think this was brilliant.
Right.
It was only 7 people that actually
Took their
stripped
clothes off.
nude,
Right.
but it was amazing, and they were able to stand there for at least a good 15 minutes.
Wow.
Absolutely naked in Boehner's office. Amazing. Let's watch the video really quick.
Wow.
If I can, I'm so bad with technology.
What do we do? Act up, fight back. When people act up, fight back, fight AIDS. 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 Act up, fight back. That's why we have to be so rude. Budget cuts are really rude. That's why we have to be so rude. Budget cuts are really rude. That's why we have to be so rude. But make us sick. Boehner, don't be a dick.
That's one of my favorite chances.
I would have liked us to go, they're funny, that guy in the end there. Just having a ball.
No more budget cuts. Budget cuts will make us sick.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So
I've already said you have to leave the office, even though it's owned by the American people.
Right.
I love it.
So they came in, security was called, they gave them 2 warnings.
Right.
You know, after the second warning, I would be like, so how many warnings do we get?
Yeah.
So eventually they did it with, they had a really good response. They were able to do their chants and be there for like good 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
You know, there were people all out lined out in the hallway. You know, they got their message across. Now, but here's the interesting thing. So after the media left, and after a good portion of the folks like actually left the building as they were told, and you can see there were 7 people, 3 women, 4 men. The 3 women were arrested for indecent exposure
because of their breasts.
But the
dumbest.
The men's penises were out too, and you can watch there are many other videos online. You can watch all the video. You can see everything, and the live feed. You can watch the recorded live feed. You can see everything. They're saying that the police officers didn't know which men because they mingled in the crowd.
Right.
But I guess if you're a straight cop and you see a naked woman, you're gonna remember who she is, and you're gonna be able to pick her out of a crowd. Is what I'm thinking.
So you can identify.
And so the 4 men, so the 4 men didn't, and they were still there. I think one of the reports said that they had left.
Right.
But I know I was watching the whole live feed, and you could see them in the hallway. So I don't know what happened there, but but the women were.
The guy on the end.
Yeah,
they were actually
they were
arrested.
mingling.
Everything was exposed. Same thing.
All
as
of
the
them,
women.
all the men.
Right.
You can totally see everything. But anyway, so the 3 women were arrested, taken to the headquarters. They're right now needing some assistance with lawyers and all of that. But anyway, I mean, I just thought it was brilliant. Clearly, that's not something that you would do if you really genuinely want to get a meeting.
Right.
Probably with Boehner.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, obviously it did what it needed to do was to bring attention to these programs and the funding cuts that are going to happen. Every single discretionary program is on the chopping block.
Right.
How do you make yours stand out? You know, and AIDS, unfortunately, has been on the back burner for way too long.
Sure. Yep.
And so, I mean, I think this was brilliant. I loved it.
Actually, I thought it was well done. And it wasn't, when I first heard about it, I was like, you know, I wouldn't think to go into my representative's office and take my clothes off. Not that I'm a stranger to taking clothes off.
I totally would have done it. The part I'm afraid of is getting arrested.
It's just so funny that just the women were arrested.
Nudist or something, but yeah.
But it does have to get a point across. Something that we brought up last World AIDS Day is that I hear this all the time, that people think that the epidemic of AIDS is over. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? No. It is not over.
We should be so fortunate to have the technology we have today.
Right.
You know, to kind of like...
Well, and the thing is, 50,000 new cases a year doesn't sound like
it's over.
We've come to the end of AIDS.
No.
It's just that the hype, it feels like it's the hype 80s, in the 80s, the hype, and even into the 90s. But,
absolutely right.
You know, you don't hear it. We're not conditioned to hear it like I think a lot of people were at one point in time.
Right.
And Carly, you bring up a good point about the technology and the medical advances.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. I think that nowadays, you know, people are living in you know that people are living 25 years. Yep. We know people.
Well, I've survived 16 years being HIV positive. And we were just discussing this today about how in the beginning it was not good. I had a doctor that had no idea. I was his first patient ever. Gave me Bactrim, and I'm allergic to penicillin. The Bactrim made me break out on lesions all over my body. I was hospitalized. The first doctor that I had over-medicated me on the medications that were out in '96, which were really much better than the medications that had come out in the late '80s. The late '80s, AZT was killing everybody because they were over-medicating. But then I got a good doctor, and I've survived 16 years, but for me, it's not over. It's an everyday thing. I can go out and I can be in the community and I can volunteer, but I can be wiped out for a week afterwards. I have to shut my phone off. People think I'm not trying to talk to them. I'm in bed resting. My body has to rest.
Your body needs to recoup.
This is not, and I have people tell me all the time about, you look so good. Well, the outside may look great, but every day it's a struggle inside. I have to take pills every day. Something can happen, something can go wrong. wrong. So it's not over. It's an ongoing thing.
And I think, and that's the exact message that we need to get across, especially to young people, because we, the CDC last year released a report, just recently released a report that of the new HIV cases, 1 in 4 are young people.
Yep.
And I think that they're getting a mixed message. Not necessarily from our community, but just in general, like you said, well, I look healthy, but they need to hear that message that it's not easy and that it's not a disease that anybody would want.
Yeah, and I've actually heard that a lot. We were actually discussing that today. I was with John Britton, who is a huge activist for the community. And we were talking about, I get that all the time. I get young people telling me, they're like, well, if I get it, it's not that bad. Look at you. Well, you don't know me like that. You're not home with me when I don't feel well. Right. You're not home with me and my husband when he's got to help take care of me because my neuropathy is so bad that I can't get up and walk around. You can't just look at somebody, just like you can't look at somebody and say, are they positive or are they negative? You just can't do that. It's not a disease that you want. Thankfully, I'm as healthy as I am, but that could change any day for me. And it's not something that you want to live with for the rest of your life. Like, I want to go back to college and get a degree, but I have to be scared that I'm not going to have medications that I need. My medications are $50,000 a year with medications and doctor's visits. So if I make that money, all the support that I have now will be taken away from me. Right. And so I'm going to have a job that makes $150,000 a year just so I have enough money to provide for my medications just to keep me healthy, barring anything else going wrong. So when I tell young people this, it does open their minds. They're like, well, I was unaware of that. I'm like, of course, this isn't the flu. You don't take Zicam or Theraflu and everything's done with. It's something you have to live with every day of your life. And some days it gets the better of you and some days it doesn't.
It's very nice of you to share your, personal feelings. And I admire that completely. But the thing is that the young people, there's this age gap,
right.
And this is in every part of the community, but more so I see it it's just present right now. Older people who have, they've been able to fight some struggles that we've had.
Right.
And then the younger people who are like, oh, well, it's kind of, I'm in because I'm gay.
Right.
Or I'm bi or I'm transgendered or whatever.
Right.
I feel like they don't have an appreciation for, the struggle and don't actually get the information to make it in their awareness. It's out of our awareness. And we need to be putting back into our awareness.
In general.
It needs to be everywhere.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with going back to, the education, the prevention, which there's been absolutely, funding has been drastically cut for that. So, even more funding cuts to look forward to, but that's been cut for a long time,
right.
And we think of, there's just so many things. I think of young people in the schools, so it's like, first of all, if they're still in school and they haven't been bullied out, right. There's usually not a comprehensive sex ed program that's going to speak to the young people, Carly, that you're talking about. Right. So they might have a comprehensive sex ed program, but I can tell you it's most likely not going to be geared toward the LGBTQ students. Right. So it's just, and unfortunately, those are the ones that we see on the doorstep of our local aid service organization. Yep. All too often. So, I think which is exactly why we need days like World AIDS Day.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, Jamie, I know you've been involved with the Cleveland World AIDS Day for the past several years.
Correct.
And so I don't know if you just want to talk briefly about just kind of, and you've been, and like Carly said, just really gracious with being open about your story and your personal, disclosing all of that. And, so what, and I know we talked about it last week on the show when you weren't here, kind of what World AIDS Day means and why, and why is it important to you personally, being someone who is HIV positive?
Well, it's important to me only because people need to understand what's going on. There's different parts of it. They need to understand the people that we've lost, either due to over-medication or to HIV and AIDS itself. They have to understand the people that we've lost to the ignorance and stigma of HIV and AIDS. But they need to understand the people that are now surviving and living every day with it. And it is good for us to be examples of that, this is not a death sentence any longer. I was told in 1996 over the phone while I was at work. I did not know at the time that that's illegal. Your doctor can't give you life-threatening information over the phone. So I lost it at work, subsequently lost my job, went through really, really hard times. Went from having everything I could ever want to living in a 56-foot camper trailer in East Liverpool, Ohio, because I had nothing left. Then I lived in AIDS housing, which AIDS housing is great. It really provides a lot, but how they had constructed this is that you felt like you should be there, and it shouldn't have felt like that. It should have felt like home. So people need to hear that. And again, especially the young people, that this is not, I don't know, I can't emphasize this enough. It's not something that you can just take a pill for and it's all going to be better.
Which we're so used to.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt.
Right.
We are so used to the quick fix. We are I'm trained, we're all conditioned. And
absolutely.
This is the one thing that it's like there's no magic pill for it.
Well, there's not. And these young kids think that, because we all talk about the new cocktails out, it's only one pill or it's only 3 pills. I took medications when it was 36 pills a day. 36 pills a day, and I was sick most of the time.
It's like, how do you even have room in your stomach then to eat?
Well, yeah.
How would you even want to eat?
Well, the medications made you
effects?
not want to eat.
But you would have to eat to take them.
To take the pill, yeah. Right. And it was ridiculous. But I think these kids are getting the message that, it's not so bad if you get it. On one end, it may feel that way, but again, this is something you have to live with every day of your life, and it limits your abilities of what you're able to do. I'm very lucky. I've been undetectable for over, it's 15 years now.
That's awesome.
So it's great, but it's on the edge of that. It's great to say that, but then what do you say to a kid that's like, oh, well, look how good you're doing.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, and how do you message that?
But then you tell them about your day-to-day. And when I've been able to talk to these kids, I've spoken at some schools and talked about, they thought I was there as the gay guy talking about, how it affects the gay community. And I asked an auditorium of kids, I said, I want all of you who think I'm HIV positive to raise your hand. Not one of them.
Really?
And I said, I want all of you who think that I'm a perfectly healthy person to raise your hand. They all raised their hands. And I said, and you would all be wrong. And I tell them the story. I tell them what my day-to-day is like. Wow. And they're flabbergasted. And the teachers are like, thank you, because they don't get it. But it's hard. You have to balance the good with, my life is pretty good. But if you really want to know my day-to-day, come and talk to me, because it's not that easy. There literally are days that I can't get out of bed because I'm sick. And it just happens, but nobody gets to see that. Everybody gets to see the, healthy Jamie, and Jamie's always doing this or Jamie's all doing that, but it's not always like that. My private life is very different from what you go out and show
Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah, exactly, with jazz hands.
And I know in the second half, and when we've still got several minutes before we go on our break, but in the second half, we're going to talk about the actual events, Jamie, that you're going to be hosting, and DJ Carly Mesnick, who's throwing a big, huge party. But Carly, if you just a few minutes, like, kind of why are you involved? Like, what does World AIDS Day mean to you as someone who is HIV negative, as an ally?
Yeah. Well, to me, it's similar about what you said, that bringing people's awareness, my big thing is stand out, okay? Yep. So that's something that I've sort of been pushing on people. My idea of standing out, okay, is finding something that you believe in, that you would like to help out in, and step in and either volunteer yourself or try to do something for the betterment of people. Find something. And for some people, it'll be, the task force, the AIDS task force, and some people will be maybe the LGBT center, something like that, but et cetera. There's, we all know there's just so many organizations now that do wonderful things. But for me, it's about bringing the ages of people together, just as I sort of touched on. I just really struggle with the gap. We have people like well-known Judy Benson, okay?
Right.
And then you have these 20, 21-year-olds, a lot younger, and then you have like the mid section. I'm 30, so I'm Maybe I'm teetering
You can bridge the gap
towards Benson. I don't know. But oh yeah,
we're all young at heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, but the thing is that what I feel like I'm in the middle. So that's a good point for me because I feel like I can go this way, and my goal, the standout one part of the standout thing, is that we bridge that gap. And I think by bridging the gaps that we have within our community, okay, that we can make people more aware. So in regards to the World AIDS Day, it's that this is an issue that people are really missing. They're missing it. They're missing the boat. And it's not just I'm going to go through a bunch of letters, LGBT, QQAD. I mean, you know, it's not just that.
Nope.
Straight and it included our straight allies. People just don't understand that there's something going on. So we need to help them think. Be like, hey, look what's going on here. And once I think they start to learn and get involved, I think we're going to have a great result. But like in regards to also the AIDS thing is like, personally, I have not had a lot of contact with people who have HIV. And I guess I probably can't really speak about this candidly, but I was an instrumental part to somebody's treatment, and they were HIV positive,
Right.
And it was pretty mind blowing. It really was, because that was just like my first situation, and it happened years ago. But you know, I feel like I need to be more aware. You know, so I feel like getting involved, standing out, makes people more aware, and then we can budget cuts. No one's going to let those happen. You know, if we
Right.
get more people involved, more people understanding, even the Republicans.
Right.
Let's just say, even the Republicans may say, this is kind of like something we need to pay attention to, you know, and then coming together with
Right.
Well,
Mr. Obama.
and what a lot of people don't realize is that even if you don't know a lot of people that are HIV positive or AIDS positive, it affects everyone. It
Right,
affects everyone.
right.
It touches everybody's lives in one way or another, whether it's through personal experience, whether you know someone or they're related to you and your family, or whether it's just your tax dollars. It affects everybody. And, you know, I have to use like the Ryan White system and all of that. And with all this stuff that's going on with these budget cuts, that takes healthcare out of my hands. It literally does. And
then you multiply that by
Right.
hundreds of thousands of
Exactly.
individuals and their families across the country.
You know, and I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to have a partner. I'm fortunate to have a home. You know, I'm very fortunate. And there's a lot of people out there who have much greater need than I do, but it still takes away from that safety net for me to know that I can just live my life day to day healthy. And that's all I want. I'm not asking for anything more. I just want people to realize that I just need to live my life healthy. That's all.
Right. That's so heartwarming. You know, and Carla, like you were saying, you know, just being aware. And I feel like a lot of times bringing that awareness, and once someone actually if they never knew that they knew someone who was HIV positive, because I'm convinced that everybody knows somebody, whether they know it or not.
Whether they know it or not.
There is some kind of first or second degree of connection that they have with someone who's HIV positive. But once they meet people, then, and bringing that awareness to them and letting them know that there are things that they can do. I mean, how do you turn away from that?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
So.
That and going off what you just said, Judith, it is about, it's not, and the other separation is that there's all these stereotypes, right? And we are conditioned as young children to believe some of these things. I always was conditioned that AIDS was a gay men's problem.
Right.
So, but the thing is,
Right,
is that
and being, and I'm not gonna, I don't want to out you, but
right.
you're a lesbian.
Right.
Really? I never knew.
Carly Mesnick, our lesbian, right?
You got it, Judith. You got it.
You know, and that's another thing. It's like, how do you, as an out lesbian, say, this is a cause that I believe in,
right?
Knowing that
Because
you personally are probably not going to be personally infected.
Exactly. Right. And that's what I was just going to comment about. Women, I don't think it crosses our mind ever one switch which way. If we are intimate with somebody, or even if we're not, whatever, that person, you know, that doesn't even cross. I mean, let me speak for you ladies. Honeys.
Carly, tell us.
I really don't think that's what we're thinking about, you know? And it's interesting because I had this conversation with a friend, and, you know, she told me, she said, you know, dental dams, all this stuff. Like, we don't, women, believe it or not, I feel like they're really not into it. And maybe that needs to change.
We talk about dental dams all the time.
Well, it's like
do people use them? Finger cuts. We talk about them all the time. Do people use them?
I have a cup. I have a purple cup that describes how to put a dental dam. And thanks to Judith, thanks task force. Thank you. So now that's what my reference point is going to be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Excellent.
Well, and it's funny that you bring that up, because talking to lesbians about using dental dams is just like talking to any male about using a condom.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you use a condom? It feels terrible. Well, let me tell you why. There are all these things, and it's so funny because I see younger people and older people going around and, you know, just having anonymous sex and doing all this other stuff without having a discussion about, like, hey, is there anything you need to tell me?
Yeah.
Is there anything I should be aware of? And that's not just HIV. It's not just AIDS.
Absolutely.
It's any STD, because, and for people like me, if I was out and I was going to have sex with somebody, or knew that I was going to be intimate in some way with them, the first thing I was like, you need to know that I'm HIV positive. But my next question is, so what about you? Are you positive? Do you have any STDs?
Have you been tested?
Have you been tested? And but that's my big thing. Well, I had somebody tell me one time, I don't get tested because I don't want to know. And I'm like,
ignorance is not bliss in that case.
You're the type of person that could be out there infecting people and not knowing it. I know that I had a friend of mine that got tested, found out he was positive, but didn't think he should tell anybody. And I was like, well, the moral thing about that is that you should, and the legal thing about that is it's illegal in the state of Ohio not to inform someone.
My gosh, we can do a whole entire show just on disclosure.
Well, he couldn't believe that. He was like, well, no, it's my personal business. I said, no, absolutely it's not.
It's a public
health literally is a
issue,
public common health issue.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm never going to get laid again. I'm like, that's not true. You just have to be honest. And I said, would you rather be the person that somebody, you know, that you fooled around with, that you see across the bar, that finds out that you're positive and throws a big fit out in public, or outs you for, you know, being the person that goes around and not telling people?
Something that the women don't worry about.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's totally different.
For men or women, it should be about full disclosure. If I'm going to be with you, I went through when I came out at 21 years old, I was a slut. I didn't ask very much.
Weren't we all?
If you were a football player, I was all about it. It was great. But, you know, it is up to people like us, like people in their 30s, people in their 40s. You know, get it out there. Let these people know it's an okay conversation to have. It's not gonna end your world.
Like town hall meetings. I mean, trying to bring the younger generations with the older. I mean, bridging the gap is what I think. Not like intertwining them all, but and then we go to the men and the women.
Yeah.
Awesome discussion. I hate to cut this short. We got to go to a break, but so I'm going to go into a video. But I just want to remind everybody that you don't have to go to your legislator's office naked. You can call them naked from your own home.
Yes.
Naked.
Send me the videos.
And be in support of the naked protest. Call your congressperson. Tell them no cuts to HIV/AIDS programs. We're going to be going on a break. We're going to start off in this video, go into the break, and we'll see you in a few.
We wrote letters, we made posters, we shouted on public square, we demanded funding, we chained ourselves to the doors of City Hall. We cared for the sick, we met with politicians, we handed out clean needles, we buried many friends.
notes, everyone. The terminal tower is now in red.
Community, we have been challenged by such a moment as this. A moment when we know we are living with HIV and AIDS and that we are loved and affirmed.
The truth is, AIDS is here. But the even bigger truth is by His grace, we're still here.
I'm here today to let you know that it is a lot of us living, but we have to fight harder for this disease. We have to let people know that this disease is still here today, that it's not going away, and there are so many people infected with this disease.
Supplement Studio. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now.
This is President Barack Obama, and you're listening to Msc Radio Network.
If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe, the printer guy!
Guy. Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningShowCentral.com. Are you tired of all the overhyped advertisements for energy drinks and energy supplements?
Maybe skydiving from a suborbital spacecraft or jumping a snowmobile over 80 buses is not in your agenda.
Maybe you just want to make it through the day effectively. Whether it's work, school, or raising a family, life's demands can be overwhelming. When you need that extra kick in the butt to help get you going, try Cocaine Energy. You'll not find a more effective energy supplement. Cocaine Energy has higher caffeine content per ounce than any other energy supplement on the market, and it's safe. Worried about the side effects of so much caffeine? We got you covered. Cocaine is scientifically formulated to mitigate against the side effects normally associated with large doses of caffeine, such as the jitters and heart palpitations. So what are you waiting for? Try Cocaine today, because life doesn't wait. Cocaine is available at local retailers and online at www.drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. Once again, that's drinkcocaine.com. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for children, pregnant women, or people sensitive to caffeine. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
And we're back. That's our own private little dance party there. Yeah, it was that video, man. That was from last year's. That was just a brief little snippet. If you want to see more, there were two parts to that whole entire video. Beautiful ceremony program that we had last year. We're only going to top it this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so Jamie actually emceed the program.
Correct.
And last year and the year before, we had it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Correct.
So tell us the big change that's going to happen this year.
Well, the big change this year is we're still going to have the opening at City Hall, and of course, all our legislators will speak there. But we're going to end up marching to Tower City Center and then having the reception and the rest of the program there at Tower City Center. The big thing about that is it's public exposure. It's not being afraid to stand there and say that you're HIV positive in Tower City Center. So people are going to be going back and forth, moms and dads coming back and forth to work, using the rapid transit through Tower City Center. So it'll be a lot more exposure than being isolated at the Rock Hall. And don't get me wrong, the Rock Hall events were awesome. They were really good. But this is good for our community to get rid of that stigma that you can't talk about it openly, because you can. People don't want to, but you can. And this is the perfect venue to do that. It's absolutely perfect.
It's So we're very excited. So this year, so folks who are in the Northeast Ohio area who are listening, everyone is invited. We're gathering at City Hall at 5:30. The program itself is going to start off at 6. We're going to have our local Cleveland City Councilman Joe Simperman is going to be there. Mayor Frank Jackson gives his regards. He is unable to make it this year, but Cleveland City Council and the mayor had given a proclamation to the HIV/AIDS community, declaring December 1st World AIDS Day here in Cleveland, and it was just a really nice recognition right there at City Hall at their regular meeting. So Friday night, 5:30 gathering, 6 o'clock, we'll have a brief kind of some words there, and then some of our featured speakers who are HIV positive individuals in the community will lead the procession, step off around 6:15 so that we can be at Tower City Center by 6:30, and then that's when we're going to have some performances. We've got Melissa Figueroa, who's going to be doing a solo piece. We've got some, again, our featured speakers, HIV positive speakers. We're really excited to have the Director of Public Health for Cleveland, Karen Butler, and I'm really super excited that we have State Senator Nina Turner in the house. Wow. All of you may know her. She's become like almost a regular guest on the Ed Show. Yeah. And she is just an amazing person and is absolutely dedicated to the HIV and AIDS community. So we're really excited to have her. And of course, Jamie, our wonderful MC. So how was it? Tell us how it was last year. I mean, there are points in time during the program that are really like heart-wrenching, like tearful, like pulling heartstrings.
Well, it was actually funny because last year I knew that I was emceeing, but I was unaware that I had to say something. And in Gareth's fashion, Gareth calls me the day before and was like, "Thank you so much for emceeing. You always pull this together for us. We really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, we'll want you to say something." And normally I'm very prepared. I'll write a speech or write a poem or something like that. And I was so inspired by the speakers that were there and so inspired by everything that was going on that I got very emotional and it just kind of gushed out. And I thought that I sounded like a total idiot, but everybody else was like, they were like, "You did such a great job." Crying. I know, everybody's crying and I'm like, do I sound like a moron? What is wrong? But the thing that I really like about this is that people can be there and express themselves. But there was no need for me to be prepared because it was just everything was so inspiring. And this year, again, what I'm really excited about is that we're inside Tower City Center. Mm-hmm. We are out in the public.
And so the folks of you who are listening who are not from this area, Tower City Center is really right downtown. There's shops, there's restaurants. Our public transit goes right through
that's our
there.
Transportation
And
hub.
so, anybody who's coming home from work, anything there, thousands of people are going through Tower City Center at any given time. And so I am really excited about being able to really bring this to the public.
I think it's fantastic.
Venue. Yeah.
Very good.
And then this year, for the first time, we're going to be doing a red party. And, when we were thinking about this at first, we were like, maybe we could just do some gathering at a bar afterwards. And we'll just call it a red party. We asked DJ Carly Mesnick to do this, and she's like, "No, we don't do gatherings. I throw big parties."
Judith, you're right.
So true. So true.
So, DJ Carly, tell us, what do you have in store for us Friday night?
It's
at the Mean Bowl.
At the Mean Bowl. Mean Bowl. I guess we're starting around 7:30. So the hope is that everybody who attends downtown will just come right over. We'll be ready for you guys and ladies and everyone else. But even if people cannot make it to the program,
yeah, and the candlelight procession and everything, yeah.
Come to the Mean Bowl because we're honoring, we're celebrating. We have so many cool things going on. So obviously this is the red party, so we have special decorations and themes throughout the night. We have great entertainers, tons of great entertainers. emceeing is going to be, I have to read this.
No, there's so many.
I know. Stevie Reese Desmond, who's going to be I think maybe performing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and emceeing. We have the Cleveland Kings and Girls, CKG, better known as CKG. This is Rihanna Ali.
Yes.
And Tony Simmons.
Yes, and Tony and if you remember, Tony and Stevie were on the show last week. So.
Oh, great.
Good.
Hey, okay. Jenica McCleary. Miko Chanel. Ooh, I love Miko Chanel. Sasha Chanel Diamond. And Eva Grayson. Does she go Eva Longoria?
I don't think.
Oh.
No.
Maybe that's another
That would be
queen.
wonderful to have Eva Longoria there.
I thought maybe that was her stage name. Like sometimes my stage
special guest.
Sometimes my stage names gets made up by my friends, like DJ Honeykiss or whatever.
Oh,
So,
but we're getting. So yeah, which DJ are we getting?
You're
Friday
getting
night?
DJ Carly Music, and I'll be Honeys to whoever else. But okay, so
don't you have another DJ as well?
oh yes. That's what I'm getting into. So actually, I'm not even a big deal at all. Really. The big deal is actually DJ Fierce Tease, who is based out of Columbus, I believe. And
actually out of Kentucky or somewhere.
No, regular stuff going on in Kentucky. Right. But I think that Columbus is involved.
He's a pretty big deal.
Done a lot of things at the Axis.
He's won an award for
Gay
White
Days.
Party. Gay Days.
Gay Days. Somewhere in the late 2000s, maybe 10. He won the award for best DJ.
Right.
His style, and as a DJ, I've been sort of stalking him a little bit, and just he's so talented. The mashups he does, for those of you who know what that is, it's phenomenal. And
it is very
actually,
good.
He has a sample of what he's going to be playing, and it's on the invite for the Red Party.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's cool. So we have we're going to have him maybe upstairs and downstairs. Right now we're going to have 2 floors. Right. So I might be downstairs, might be upstairs, but regardless, we are going to have a blast. We have dance party, we have drag performances, as I just said, and what am I missing? Everyone's just going to have a good time. We want everyone to come, love each other, embrace each other, and celebrate this awesome thing. And we just want to reach tons of people, right? For awareness. And then you guys will be there. And
we'll be there.
Hey.
G and I will be there.
G and you'll be there, and we'll be able to, help
dance
people.
Our asses off.
We're
going to
gonna
raise awareness.
Well, the nice thing too about the event for Red Party is it's going from 7:30 until 2 o'clock in the morning. So if some people, because I did hear some people were like, well, I don't know because I'd planned to maybe go out to dinner in Tower City Center or something.
Right.
You have more than enough time to go out to dinner, go over to a friend's house, relax for a little bit, and then come to Red Party.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're gonna be going all night long, strong, and with Fierce. I mean, it's just gonna be great. And so I'll be DJing probably at the beginning of the night when everyone's trickling in, and then Fierce is gonna pick up either upstairs or take over, and he's gonna take us home.
And no cover.
No cover. And free parking.
Nope. And actually the no cover thing is very good because people tend to forget that those living with HIV and AIDS are usually on the very low end of any income scale. Not always, but a greater majority. And when we have all of these great things for people to do, we kind of forget that, a $5 cover is a big deal to somebody that doesn't have a lot of money. There's events that I haven't gone to because there's a $10 cover. Right. $10 is a lot of money for me. It may not seem that way, but when it's the end of the month, that's just the way things are. So that's brilliant.
It is the end of the month. That's good. Yeah, people waiting for the first.
Exactly.
And I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm honored to be working with the AIDS Task Force and Jamie and G. Love him. And I'm really honored to be a part of it and be able to promote it, support it, engage in it, and just make it a success. People are decorating. We have everything's in the works.
Tonight, in fact, aren't you leaving the studio tonight?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I'm going straight over there.
I'm going back to the Mean Bowl, which I was at last night, because we want to make sure everything is just going to be off without a hitch, and it's going to be really cool. And for people who have never been to the Mean Bowl, I just want to say there are 2 floors.
There are.
It's not something that they ever really used before, but now for big events and stuff like that, they open up both floors, which you can actually have a DJ on one floor and the other one, or the music can just go throughout the whole place.
Correct.
And the upstairs area is one of the coolest spots I've seen in Cleveland, hands down, for like a club, bar.
Like a circuit party type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You use the word circuit party. It's got like brick and stuff, and there's just, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. You do not want to miss this event.
And so for folks who, again, because we broadcast worldwide, so folks who, I
so
really encourage
from California, book your flights.
Right,
now.
Yeah, get over here, because the party's happening here in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
But so certainly, absolutely, go online, find out where your World AIDS Day event is happening in your community, whether it's a candlelight vigil and a procession, or Saturday, actually, it's on Saturday this year, December 1st. We happen to be doing our program the Friday night before. A lot of churches do programs, special services. And then we also invite everyone, on Saturday, on World AIDS Day, at 7 p.m. to dim your lights, moment of silence for 7 minutes.
7 minutes, right.
Which signifies the 7 continents of the world, knowing that it impacts every single person worldwide. And so that's a way that you can be a part of it as well.
And a big thing about that is that was actually started, I believe, in Europe, and it's huge in Europe, like whole cities. They, I wish I could tell you what the link was, but they actually had a space shot of the continent, watching cities literally dim themselves down.
Really?
Because you can see all the light from the cities from space, but you can actually see sections close down and they'll stay down, and then they all come back online.
And we know that in the city of Cleveland that downtown buildings will be shutting their lights off at 7 p.m.
Right.
But that's something that you can do personally. But yeah, this is probably going to be one of our bigger events this year,
right.
As opposed to the last few years. It just seems like it gets bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Bigger and bigger every year. We've got so many partners. The AIDS Task Force of Greater Cleveland, I can't even list all of them. I know I listed them last week. It's just like so many people. We've got obviously Flex and Mean Bull. We've got Exact Care that has been a part of it. We've got the Ursuline Piazza, which is involved. Just a lot of groups. Of course, the City of Cleveland. We've got Tower City Center, and of course, the Terminal Tower is going to be lit up in red the whole, all day Saturday, starting at midnight Friday night, all the way through. So we've just got the community, the Cleveland, what are those, I can't think of what it's called, the Cleveland Downtown Alliance.
Oh, yes.
So they're the ones that are, and it's really cool because they're folks, the people who are downtown, and they give directions, and they clean up the streets and everything, make it a beautiful city. They're all going to be wearing red ribbons Friday and Saturday. We know that the Horseshoe Casino, which is new to Cleveland, all of their employees, all of their staff are going to be wearing red ribbons this weekend. So, it really is a citywide event.
And the Cavs, too.
Oh, yeah. And
the Cavs.
That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. So the Cavs are going to be, they've got special uniforms that, the NBA logo has a red ribbon on it.
Nice.
So they're going to be wearing that. Cool. And they've been giving tickets out for that game. That's going to happen on Saturday. So, it really is. You can't go anywhere in Cleveland without knowing that it's going to be World AIDS Day. There's going to be marquees that are going to be lit up outside. When you go downtown, some of the buildings have those, and it'll say World AIDS Day. So, it's incredible.
Well, and I think too, we have a unique opportunity as well, is that because we're holding this the day before on the 30th, Columbus does a huge World AIDS Day on the 1st. So this will be the first time in what I consider my recent memory of being able to, if I want to experience what's going to go on here and I'm not hungover after the red party.
After Carly's red party?
then I can go down to Columbus and enjoy Columbus's World AIDS Day. And I like that only because I consider Columbus our sister city. Yeah. So I like when we're able to do one thing here and then take the whole show and go down there.
Yeah. So awesome. Oh my gosh, this show has gone by so freaking fast.
I know. I kind of want to.
I love you guys. This is so fun. We need to do another whole hour, but we can't. But I know since we're coming up to the very end, and I know there was one more thing in the news that we can't not talk about because it's just so bizarre and so crazy. Jamie, what the heck is going on in the cruise industry?
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so Carnival Cruise took on the awesome task of having the first ever drag cruise. These are all the drag performers from RuPaul's Drag Race. There's going to be 40 performers, I believe, if not, like 30, 40 performers. And everything was going fine. Alan Chuck Travel was actually the travel agency that put all this together. So you would think that it's a gay cruise, it's a drag cruise, everybody can do what they want, so on and so forth. Well, not so fast. Basically, Carnival Cruises sent out 5 days before the cruise, before disembarking, a notice saying, it said something like, "Hi, fun seekers. Just to let you know, we're looking forward to you being on our boat, but if you dress in drag, we're going to put you off the boat in a port of call, and you'll have to find your own way home." Yeah. So, of course, immediately there was a huge backlash from the gay community and straight allies. And Change.org, I believe they gathered over 65,000 signatures in a day. And suffice it to say that
in less than 24 hours.
In less than 24 hours. So Carnival Cruise saw that, as the world is learning that the gay and straight allied communities we can get together and mobilize very quickly.
Especially when it has to do with a party.
It's a party. I've been on
drag cruise.
I've been on gay cruises and I've worn nothing, and they didn't put me off at the port of call. So they were telling them that they can't wear drag anywhere on the ship, including the hall where they were going to have the drag performances. Have you lost your mind? And then Alan Chuck Travel tried to put a Band-Aid on it and said, well, let's follow the rules and show everybody that we can be like everybody else, which we are. But they in part of their statement, they said, who goes to a drag bar in drag? Alan Chuck, if you're watching this, everybody I know that has any appreciation for drag or has done drag, and if they're going to be around 40 of the most premier drag queens in the country, they're going to put drag on.
They want to bring it.
So Alan Chuck, let's wake up. Right. You are a gay travel agent, I think. But as you pointed out to me when we came in, less than 24 hours later, they saw the error of their ways, and anybody can wear drag anywhere that they please. And I do understand the aspect of when you go on some cruises, they are family cruises. There are children. I wouldn't want to be the lightning rod for a conversation with little Tommy and his mom. I don't understand why daddy's got drag on. But this is it's a drag cruise. This is how you're promoting this. It's the pirate drag cruise. Arg. And then you're going to tell people they can't wear drag unless you're one of the performers. So, and another issue was that Alan Chuck were trying to tell what? Just in.
This was the actual urgent notice that it does say, "Greetings, fun seekers."
I told you.
We know you're looking forward to your cruise next month. We're certainly looking forward to welcoming you and your group aboard the beautiful Carnival Glory.
This is crazy.
Woo. Yeah.
And then, P.S. you can't wear drag.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't it awful?
Guests are not allowed to dress in drag for the performances or in public areas at any time during the cruise. We're sorry that any guest who violates our policies and or whose behavior affects the comfort and enjoyment of other guests will be disembarked at their own expense and no refund will be given.
What are they going to
on a drag cruise?
They're going to drop
They're
you
going
off
to throw them over the board?
No, they're going to drop you off at a port of call and make you get off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were.
Right. Well, but anyway, you know what? 24 hours.
24 hours.
The gay community united. They were like, we're not going to have this.
This is
we
bull
want
crap.
our party.
This is our money.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So
and
it all ends well.
Well, and another portion of that was Alan Chuck Travel released a statement that was just awful. Like, I'd be surprised if they're going to be in business.
Right.
But one of the things that they said was to transgendered people. If you're transgendered, this rule does not apply to you, but you would have to identify yourself as transgendered to the personnel on the ship.
So that they don't try to kick you.
Right, but why would you ever have to do that? You shouldn't ever have to identify yourself as anybody. I shouldn't have to walk into a room, not that you can't tell I'm gay, but I shouldn't have to walk into the room and go, "Hi, my name's Jamie Moore, I'm gay," or "Hi, my name's Jamie Moore, I'm a transgendered person." You shouldn't have to do
They need
that.
to figure out their policies, especially if they're going to be a gay cruise or an LGBTQ friendly, or
Exactly.
They need to figure it out.
Yeah, Continental does pride themselves on that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so they got it resolved.
They did.
All, everything ends well. But
But geez, really?
I know, right? But here we are at the end of the Joust It Out show already, so soon. Anyway, so happy World AIDS Day, everyone!
Happy
for
World
this
AIDS
weekend. Remembrance and awareness and support. So we're gonna have to sign off for now, and we're gonna do our signature dance party to sign off. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
It's dance party time.
Dance party time.